one question that I have in particular that I found many people asking me, and I'm definitely not an expert on the LSAT, is what do you do when, you've been studying, whether it's for 6 months or less than that, and you just feel like you're hitting a wall and you don't see any like score increase or improvement? What would you recommend?
Yeah, score plateaus are really common and they're really frustrating, of course. Sometimes it feels like you could be reviewing book after book and gaining new insights, but then you're not actually able to apply them in the real world test day conditions. So I think there's a disconnect sometimes from studying under untimed conditions versus timed.
Right.
It's not just enough to get the questions right. You have to get them right quickly and efficiently in the time allotted. And so I think what you've got to do there is work on your pacing. Let's say logical reasoning, 35-minute sections. You have about 25 questions in that section, but not all questions are of equal difficulty. So you could try to blast through the first 10 questions in 10 to 12 minutes. Then you build up a time bank that you could apply to the tougher questions later in the section. And if you come across a handful of questions you don't understand, maybe 3 or 4 or even 6, you mark them off, you flag them, you come back to them at the end of the section. You don't want to get bogged down. And so applying strategies like this and finding pacing techniques that work for you is sometimes what can make the difference going from untimed to timed and getting those score breakthroughs. Another thing that often is a problem with score plateaus is you don't understand why you're getting things wrong. You just get them wrong. You measure your results. You're happy, you're sad about the results, maybe more likely sad since you're still studying. And then you have to look at, in depth, excruciating detail, what was tempting about the wrong answer that made you pick it, and what ultimately makes it wrong. And then what is discouraging about the right answer that pushes you away from it, and what ultimately makes it correct. You want to do this again and again and again, even writing out by hand or typing, yet really articulating your thought process. That's the only way that you can actually make gains in understanding from the work that you're putting in. It's not enough to just take exam after exam. I do want students, anyone taking this, to take the exam at least 10 practice tests under real simulated conditions. But taking them isn't enough. The review process is equally, if not more, important.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that.